If your water leaves white crust on the kettle, spots on the shower glass, or that weird pool taste in your coffee, you already know the annoying part. It's not one problem, and it's not one fix. Some homes need true scale control, some are fighting iron stains and rotten egg odor, and some just want cleaner tasting water at every tap, or a dedicated drinking faucet that finally makes tap water feel worth pouring. In this US Water Systems review video, you'll see a lineup that covers all of those angles, and you'll get a clear feel for what daily life looks like with each setup, how it treats your water, how it fits into your home, and what the upkeep actually feels like. And if you want to compare for yourself, I've put links to the lowest price I've found right now for each filter, softener, and RO system in the description box below. Let's start with a smart, metered softener in these US Water Systems water softener reviews. Because if scale is your main headache, this is the kind of system that changes your day fast. You're swapping out the minerals that form hard crust in pipes and appliances, so your water heater, dishwasher, and washing machine don't spend their lives fighting buildup. In normal use, that shows up as fewer spots on fixtures and less of that chalky film you scrub off the shower. The upshot is you spend way less time cleaning, and your appliances get an easier job. What really shapes the experience here is the control valve and how you interact with it. This one uses a WQA Gold Seal certified smart control valve that connects to your phone over Bluetooth 5, so you can open the Legacy View app and see water use, regeneration cycles, and even salt levels without walking over to the tanks. You can adjust your hardness setting right from that same dashboard, so you're not guessing when you want the water to feel a certain way at the sink or in the shower. Because it's built around a simple, single internal moving part, you get that set it and forget it vibe without losing the modern monitoring. Sizing and flow are where this system starts to feel like it belongs in a real household instead of a spec sheet. You can choose a 10, 15, or 20 GPM service flow configuration, so a bigger household doesn't have to tiptoe around showers and laundry. Depending on the model, maximum softening capacity ranges from 35,000 to 70,000 grains, so you can match it to how hard your water is and how much you use. And with a listed working water pressure range of 20 to 100 psi and water temperature range of 39 degrees to 100 degrees Fahrenheit, it's built to sit in the background and just keep up. Day to day, the routine is mostly about salt and peace of mind. The brine tank holds up to 220 pounds of salt and includes an internal float and safety overflow, so you're not topping it off constantly and you've got built-in safeguards around the refill cycle. It runs on low voltage and includes battery backup, so the system keeps its protection mindset even when your power blips. And with a lifetime warranty on the tank and resin, plus a 10-year warranty on the valve and electronics, this one makes the most sense when you want soft water that feels modern to own and easy to live with in this US Water Systems Reviews lineup. By the way, is scale and spots what's driving you to shop? Or is it more about getting better soap lather and laundry? Or maybe you just want healthier drinking water for yourself and your family? Drop a comment below because I'm genuinely curious what's showing up in your home in terms of water problems. Next up in this US Water Systems water filter review, let's shift to the well water problem that can make you dread turning on the tap: iron staining and that rotten egg smell. This Matrixx InFusion Ultimate Iron and Sulfur Eradication System injects hydrogen peroxide using continuous injection technology, then pairs that with catalytic carbon media, so iron, manganese, and hydrogen sulfide get oxidized and handled in the filtration process. In practice, that's the difference between water you avoid and water you actually use, brushing your teeth without flinching, cooking without odor creeping into the steam, and rinsing sinks that don't instantly look stained again. The reason that matters is simple. It treats the cause, not just the smell. The performance targets are clearly defined, which helps you match it to your situation. Typical contaminant removal is up to 20 parts per million iron, up to 30 parts per million hydrogen sulfide, and up to 1 part per million manganese. So you're not wondering whether it's meant for light nuisance issues or heavier well water challenges. It's built to work effectively in a pH range of 6 to 9. And it works with iron and sulfur-reducing bacteria too. So when your water problem feels layered, odor, staining, and biology all at once, you're working with a system specifically designed for that kind of messy reality. Ownership on this one is all about controlled dosing and automatic cleaning. The setup includes a 15-gallon peroxide tank, a precision injection panel, the InFusion filter, and 10 gallons of H2O2. So you're starting with a complete treatment loop instead of piecing it together. An internal meter counts gallons used and monitors flow rates, and the system runs automated backwashing approximately every 2 days to clean the catalytic carbon bed. Daily backwashing is recommended for the most extreme cases. That translates to a system that keeps its media working without you manually resetting it. Even the power and controls lean into low-hassle living. It runs on 12-volt operation, so you're dealing with low-voltage ownership, and it uses less than $2 of electricity per year, which keeps the ongoing overhead minimal. Battery backup keeps the memory during a power outage, so you don't lose your settings when the lights flicker. And with the smart valve setup tying into your phone over Bluetooth, you can set timing and cycle behavior in a way that fits your household rhythm. Then you go back to using your water without thinking about it. All right. Now we're stepping into whole home reverse osmosis territory, one of the bigger systems in this US water systems comparison, the kind of setup you choose when you want RO-treated water across the house, not just at one little faucet. The highly rated Defender Whole House Reverse Osmosis system is built to reduce TDS and all the nasty contaminants throughout your entire home, so the water feeding your kitchen, bathrooms, and appliances goes through the same core purification approach. It's also built with recycle and blending functionality, which, in addition to reducing wastewater, helps shape the final water you're using day to day. The result is a whole house feels different change, not just, my drinking glass tastes better. The big decision point here is output and storage, because that's what determines how the system feels during busy household moments. You can choose production rates of 4,000, 6,000, or 8,000 gallons per day, so you're scaling for your home's demand instead of hoping a small system keeps up. On the storage side, you can pair it with a 140-gallon atmospheric holding tank, a 250-gallon tank, or even two 250-gallon tanks, so you've got a real buffer when the house is active. A float switch turns the system on and off based on that tank level, which means your RO production runs like a steady background process instead of something you babysit. Up front, it uses a 5-micron sediment pre-filter, and that matters more than most people realize in a US water systems review like this. That filter traps dust, dirt, sediment, and large particles, so the RO system isn't doing the dirty work with its most sensitive components. The housing uses a double O-ring seal to prevent bypass, and it uses stainless reinforced connections, so your pre-filtration stage stays tight and consistent. In everyday terms, you get smoother operation and less wear and tear stress over time. On the finishing side, there's a pulsar ultraviolet disinfection for the final step, so you get an extra microbial safety net after the RO process. The UV unit includes an LCD display with bulb status and a bulb change indicator, so you don't have to guess when maintenance is due, and it has a lifetime warranty on the stainless chamber. You can also add an anti-scalant injection system that runs automatically with a food-grade concentrate designed to prevent limescale buildup and extend system life. And there's a pH boost option using a neutralizing solution designed to protect copper, brass, and other soft metals. Overall, the Defender is a high-output, whole-home RO setup that feels extremely well-engineered. Storage, protection, and finishing steps all working together in one American-made water purification system. By the way, if you're thinking about a whole-house RO setup, what are you noticing right now? Salty taste, high TDS, or just wanting purified water everywhere? Tell me in the comments so others can compare notes too. Next up is a whole house filter, one of the best US water systems filter contenders aimed at chemical reduction across every tap, so your water experience changes everywhere at once. This one leans on carbon filtration to target chemicals like chlorine and chloramine, and also covers common problem compounds like MTBE, THMs, and PFAS, including PFOA. In day-to-day use, you notice it when you make coffee, brew tea, cook pasta, or even just fill a glass without that sharp chemical bite. And because it's filtering the water feeding your shower, it's built to reduce chlorine vapors that can come off hot steam, so the bathroom air feels much easier to breathe. The filtration media blend is a big part of why this system feels like more than just a carbon tank. It uses KDF55 process media alongside catalytic carbon and GAC media derived from coconut shells, so you've got a mix designed to tackle chemical reduction in a more layered way. It also includes filtration media infused with copper and zinc to prevent microbial growth, which helps keep the media bed in a healthier state over time. The practical payoff is steadier performance and a system that's built to stay clean inside while it does its job. Flow and whole house comfort matter here, because nobody wants a filter that turns showers into a trickle. The system uses full 1-inch inlet and outlet ports and is rated for up to 25 gallons per minute of peak flow, so it's built to support normal household demand without a pressure penalty feeling. There's also an optional 20 gallons per minute ultraviolet stage available, which lets you add a disinfection layer if that matches your water situation. So when you're running dishes while someone showers, the system is designed to keep your water feeling like water, just way cleaner. Maintenance is refreshingly straightforward, and it's easy to picture what you're actually doing as an owner. There's one 5-micron sediment pre-filter that you change every 6 to 12 months in normal use, so you've got a simple, predictable cartridge routine. The carbon in the tank is meant to be rebedded every 5 to 7 years for continued chemical removal, which makes the big maintenance moment a long interval event instead of a constant chore. With WQA-certified components that are listed as NSF and ANSI Standard 61 and 42 compliant, plus a 1-year satisfaction guarantee, this system is best when you want cleaner tasting, more comfortable whole-house water without turning maintenance into a hobby. By the way, if chlorine smell or chemical taste is what pushed you to start looking, leave a comment with what you notice most at the tap. It really helps other people reading through and trying to choose. Finally, if you're narrowing down the best U.S. water systems water filter shortlist, let's bring it down to the undersink level, because sometimes what you really want is one dedicated faucet that gives you best water in the house on demand. This American-made reverse osmosis system lives under your sink and feeds a separate drinking faucet. So you pour a glass, fill a kettle, or top off a bottle without thinking twice. The system includes a double O-ring seal design for guaranteed 100% filtration. So, unlike with cheaper RO systems, the water actually stays routed through the filtration path instead of sneaking around it. That means the water you pull from that faucet matches the whole point of owning an RO system: consistent, intentional filtration. The filtration train is built in stages, and each step has a clear job you'll feel in real life. Stage 1 is a sediment filter that captures dirt and rust, so the rest of the system doesn't clog up doing heavy lifting. Stage 2 uses a carbon block to reduce chlorine and other chemicals, so your water loses that treated taste that ruins coffee and tea. Then Stage 3 uses a sub-micron carbon block to reduce chloramine and PFAS and keep the RO membrane working at its best, so you get a cleaner baseline before the deep purification step. The RO membrane is where the true separation happens, and this one includes a 100 GPD-TFC membrane, so you're working with a system designed for steady daily drinking water production. That membrane reduces heavy metals, fluoride, and other dissolved solids, so the water you drink feels crisp and stripped of the stuff you didn't want in the first place. On the storage side, you get a 4.5-gallon tank, so you can fill a few bottles back-to-back or knock out cooking water without waiting on the membrane to catch up. There's even a tank base that lets the tank sit upright or lay on its side, which makes undersink placement feel far more doable. Installation and ownership details are built to feel approachable, even if you're not a plumbing person, which is a big deal in these U.S. water systems reviews. You get color-coded tubing with 4 connections, plus a tube cutter, so the routing is clear when you're working under the cabinet. The package includes a lead-free ceramic disc faucet, a quick connect drain saddle, and a TDS meter, so you can check your water quality in a simple, concrete way whenever you feel like verifying performance. And if you want your RO water to taste more like mineral water, there's an optional Stage 6 alkaline remineralization filter that adds minerals like calcium, potassium, and magnesium, and targets a pH of 8.5 to 10.0, so your water feels less flat and more naturally rounded. So here's the simple way to choose in this U.S. water systems comparison. If scale and appliance protection are your main goal, The smart metered softener is the one that reshapes daily life with less buildup and smoother water feel. If your well water brings iron stains or that rotten egg odor, the peroxide injection and catalytic carbon approach is built for that specific fight. If you want RO-treated water across the entire home, the whole house RO setup is the big system answer. And if you mainly want great-tasting drinking water without touching the whole house, the undersink RO keeps it focused and practical. And if you want to check them out for yourself, I've put links to the lowest price I've found right now for each filter, softener, and RO system in the description box below.